The Apprentice is the new movie by Ali Abassi. This is a director who's had a very interesting filmography thus far. His first two movies were sort of genre affair, both getting distributors like IFC Midnight and Shudder. And in 2022 we got Holy Spider, which actually won the Best Actress prize at the Cannes Film Festival. It felt like a movie David Fincher or Denis Villeneuve could have done, but I thought it was solid. It's maybe a little forgettable. And now we have this filmmaker attempting a Donald Trump biopic. At least that's what it might look like. This movie starts off with a title card ensuring that events in this movie were dramatized for the sake of it being an interesting movie. And my impression is exactly that. This is less of a study of the mind of Trump, or really like a biopic about his life. And yes, they use all real names, but it is kind of like a game of dress up. If you've seen Funny or Die's featurette, Trump, The Art of the Deal, this is pretty much like a longer version of that, but where that one was really trying to be like a satire, this one is almost like a Scarface clone. Story we've seen many times, and it's done in a myriad of ways. I actually used to really like the Notorious B.I.G. biopic that pretty much cloned Scarface. And this time we have a Trump one. It's about a man who falls into power. He starts off like a deer in headlights, very innocent, but gets quickly corrupted and turns on his morals and allies. And I don't want to give away just everything, because there are nuances on The Apprentice that do set it apart. Clearly, this movie was directed by an Iranian-Danish filmmaker, so in itself there are creative choices all throughout the runtime. I thought the music in this movie felt alternative, and the camera style is very playful. It's not quite like a documentary with the characters addressing the camera, but it almost acts like another character, and it just hops around and focuses on characters' facial and body language. A lot of this movie is focused on Trump and his relationship with Roy Cohen, an attorney that teaches him everything from the art of winning to denying everything, challenging every question. He plays a huge part in his real estate strategy. Jeremy Strong is effortlessly commanding as Roy Cohen. I love the scene where Trump refuses to drink and he tells him, "If I'm gonna listen to you, then you better start drinking." I unfortunately have not watched all of Succession, but I could tell that Jeremy's the type of actor who can bring it all the way up or all the way down. He has his somber moments, and he's believable in all of this. And then there's Sebastian Stan, who has had a great few years transitioning from Marvel to indie darling, and his performance here is unique, I'll say that. If you've seen any clip or trailer of this movie, you could tell he doesn't put on like a Trump accent. He doesn't have an assortment of makeup or prosthetics or weight loss like Christian Bale would do, but he does crinkle his lips and flail his arms around like Trump does. But to be honest with you guys, midway through this movie, while I was enjoying it, I wasn't looking at these characters as the real life people that they are based on. There is something very small scale about this movie. It almost reminded me of the Obama Sundance movie. I think this one was better, but while the sets look pretty decent and the talent, of course, on here is really good, there's also Maria Baklova, who plays Ivana Trump, and I thought she was great. She was almost like a Michelle Pfeiffer in this role. But this movie has a filter to it. The first half is this 80s fuzzy aesthetic, and that worked for me, but then the other half is this VHS looking 90s filter, and kind of reminded me of something I would find on Instagram or Snapchat. I definitely see what they were going for. Some of it did look cool, but as a whole I would have been fine without that. I thought it was pretty good. It feels very HBO. I wouldn't be surprised if they pitched this as a mini-series or TV movie at some point. But the movie that we have now, it's not really something I was asking for, yet it has more creative decisions and things to like on there than I was expecting. So I would give this movie a 6.7. The Apprentice is released by Bear Cliff, and it is playing in theaters everywhere. Thank you for watching.